The work of the Pennsylvania Black Caucus in this country. And by so doing, we're going to make it better, not just for black folks, but we're going to make it better for everybody. No matter what the color of your skin, what your religion, where you were born, what country, whether you were born abroad or you were born here, no matter how long you've been here, no matter how much money your parents make. The power of the black vote is to call to the consciousness of this country, to allow us to understand that all men are created equal, and that the words that were written in the Constitution, even if they didn't apply to people at that time, they apply to us now, and they must apply always to more people in the future. And we never take people's rights away from them, we only add rights to people.
Riding with Biden. I'm here with Rick Doherty. Rick is the lead car today.
This is Lisa Rose. Lisa, would you raise your hand? Yay! Lisa is the chairwoman of the Pennsylvania Democratic Black Caucus.
I want to bring greetings from Senator Street, who unfortunately could not be here. He was asked to introduce the next president of the United States.
Do the right thing. And I know black men are going to vote because real black men vote.
Decisions that's going to control and impact our life for a lifetime. We should all be concerned about that.
Philly, who is going to be the moderator tonight.
Yeah.
To my brother and Vice President of the State Democratic Caucus, the Honorable, I wanted to say the preacher of the hour, Sharif Street. Will you give it up for him one more time? My goodness gracious. I said, why you gotta talk like that up in my house? They had to give an offering after all that. A melanated majority that cannot be stopped. Because unless you build a wall high enough to reach heaven, unless you build a wall wide enough to belt the world, there's always a way over it, always a way around it. And if you've seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, there's always a way through it. And if you can't get around it, can't get over it, you can get up underneath it. You know, it's been said, in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. And the truth is that even in our own Democratic Party, the Big Tent Party, the party of the New Deal and economic recovery, the party that brought us the Social Security Act, the Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act, Medicare, Head Start, Early Head Start, the Affordable Care Act. Every once in a while, our own family has got to be reminded every election cycle that our house is bigger than the kitchen. And we're roaming the rest of the house. Beloved, racism is still rampant in our nation. Don't worry, I have courage for you. For the sake of those who've come before us, we have to have courage. For the sake of those who travel with us, we have to have courage. But most importantly, for the sake of those who will come behind us, we have to have courage. know when a word must be spoken to further a good cause, and those whom it behooves to speak remain silent, anybody ought to stand up and speak. If there is no conscience in the community, we are ready to be that conscience. We will do this work with the courage of those who have come before us. For we are reminded on this day that we are the children of slaves they could not kill, and the descendants of kings and queens that could not be stopped. The Black Caucus reminds us today that the way that things are is not the way things ought, should, or have to be. Being here in this room, in this space, with all of this black joy, reminds us that the vision for America ain't gonna come from the bowels of those who oppress. The Black Caucus reminds us that being black, bold, brilliant, beautiful, free, and loving yourself is only a threat to the insecure. Black Caucus reminds us, we're reminded today, not just during Black History Month, but every day thereafter. Black Caucus reminds us not to let our bright light dim in the insecurity of another shade. We're reminded today that nothing about us, without us, is really for us.
That there is still a need, believe it or not, for an organization that champions the needs of African American, but not only African American, but all who are disenfranchised. So, we today have to take the charge to be the voice of the voiceless. So I charge you to make sure you signed in so we can contact you and you have an option to join us. And I have to ask all my members to stand, because without my committee, Danielle Shackelford, Michael Laws, where's Harold? Harold has to say thank you, because this is not a mission that can be accomplished by one. And we've heard it all before, there is no I in team, but we have an outstanding team that I am truly indebted to. So all are welcome. Again, it's not just about African Americans, because we all know we are one. So what one group of culture stands for, it's a ripple effect to affect all. So I would like to ask Senator Street, our vice chair of the party, to come and give our final charge.
We're in church, and we've heard from the pastor, and now I'm coming up, and at that point, I'm supposed to come up and remind you that Abraham gave a tenth of all he had. He was committed to use 10% of his social media posts to organize the people he cared about. So I'm going to ask you to use 10% of your social media posts to help us out. Abraham would have had to use 10% of his social time to knock on some doors and talk to some of your friends. So I'm going to ask you to use 10% and give a little bit of your time to this effort to knock on some doors and get involved.
We are ready for the work that lies ahead in Lehigh County. We are ready to see a change in the city of Allentown. We are ready to knock on doors. We're ready to go to barbershops and bodegas and nail salons. We are ready to be unapologetically black and bold. We're going to say it now, we black and we proud, and then we're going to move. Amen. Amen.